Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I would draw a pretty straightforward mid-century record player cabinet on Sketchup 2017. This probably isn't the most efficient way, but this is how I would go about doing it. I am in the future actually going to post a build video of this project, so I'll come back and post that link somewhere up here. First thing, make sure if you don't already have your template set to woodworking inches, or I guess you could do millimeters if that works better for you, but I'm going to do this in inches. I've got an idea in my head how big I want this to be. So I want it to be about 5 feet long, 60 inches, and I want it to be 13 and a half inches wide. That's a pretty good measurement for records because they're just under 12 inches square, and that gives you a little bit of room. Now, you don't want to make it 13 and a half inches tall. You want to make it about 15 because you want to account for the 3/4 inch plywood on both sides. So there's your basic box. I just drew a rectangle and then using the push pull, pulled it up to 15 inches tall. All right, now I'm going to click this face to, since it's going to be a box made out of 3/4 inch plywood, I use this offset. Make sure you're on that face, drag it down anywhere, and then just type in 0.75. Click on your space that's going to be deleted, and I just use the push pull, and I know it's 13 and a half, so I type that in so you're not fighting pushing that out into space. All right, so I want there to be two sides to hold records and then a shelf in the middle, and I don't want them to all be equal. I want the shelf to be a little bit narrower, so I'm going to come in 22 inches using the tape measure, 22 inches from each side, and then I'm going to hit that dot and I'm going to draw a rectangle. And again, that's 13 and a half inches back, 0.75. I input my measurements a lot. It's just easier. You don't have to worry about things going outside of the perimeter of the piece. So again, do that over here. And then if you go to your push pull, oops, go to your push pull till that locks, or again, you can do 13.5. That way you know everything is nice and tight. I came back and cleaned that up. And there you've got your basic idea. So I want just one shelf running across. So let's see, take the tape measure going up. That is 13 and a half. Half of that would be what, 6 1/4, 6 3/4, sorry. But I want to come up, I want to leave 3/8 of an inch because that's half of the 3/4 inch plywood. So I'm going to come up actually 6 3/8. That's going to be the bottom of the shelf. So again, go over 13 and a half, come up 3/4 of an inch, pull that over. There we go. Now, if you wanted to, you could come back and select all these, make them components. That way you can move them. Just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to leave it how it is. All right, I'm going to put some simple tapered legs. So I'm going to come over 3 inches, put a tape mark, come down 3 inches. That's going to be what I'm going to do for all 4 legs. So I'm going to come up here, change this to a circle. I want this to be 1.25 inches, but you've got to do this by radius, so it's a little tricky. It takes a little math. 1.25 inches, 1.25. Half of that would be 0.625. Or if you wanted to, you could just put your fraction in. Took me a second, sorry. I'll go with 0.625. I'm going to go ahead, do that over here too. Oops. Now I'm going to push this down. Oh, again, I want this to be, I've kind of got these measurements pre-designed. I've drawn this up before. I'm going to bring these down about 8 feet. That way this thing sits roughly 2 feet off the ground from the floor to the top of it. Let's do that. Start over. All right. Now here's a little trick that took me a little while to figure out. To make this taper accurate, you don't want to use, I'm using this scale tool, but you don't want to go diagonal. If you do that, it's going to give you just a taper from one side, whatever side you're dragging from. I'm going to undo that. What you want to do, I'm on a Mac, so I hit Alt. I think if you're on a PC, you'd hit Control. If you hold that down, you see it changes to the middle. That's going to drag it, taper it uniformly all the way around. So I'm going to make this about, we'll call it somewhere around 0.64, 0.65, something like that. Same thing here. And then got to make 2 more. All right, there you go. That is pretty straightforward. And then if you want to make it look a little prettier, take the axes off. I just select the whole thing. Let's see what that looks like. All right. There you go. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully if you were looking to learn something, you did. If you liked the video, feel free to subscribe. I try to post content every Monday. I like to alternate between stuff like this and actual build videos. Again, thanks for watching. See you next time.